Hi there guys, in this one we're looking at AMC stocks. So of course AMC today has actually been down a little bit, but only down by about 1.57%. I think this is actually quite interesting because looking a bit closer in on the 5-day chart, we can see that from the 11th up until now, we are up by about 2.4%. So the question for this one guys is, should you buy AMC now or is it a stock that you should avoid? Well, of course I am not a financial advisor, so you do need to do your own research, but what I can do is give you all of my personal opinions. If that sounds like a plan, if you might enjoy it, please do leave a like and subscribe because of course we make videos on AMC and other stocks all the time, so it would go a long way. With that being said though, let's jump straight into the video and not waste a second more. Yes guys, you can see on screen that AMC is currently worth about $5.63. I think this is very interesting because like I said, from the 11th up until now, we are still positive. I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing, it's not necessarily a good thing either because today has been in the red ever so slightly. And if we do have a look at how it has been moving throughout the day, it has been quite volatile to be honest. It's been up and down all over the place, not necessarily a bad thing. We all knew that AMC stock was going to still get a lot of hype and of course get a lot of attention, and this has, kind of reflected in the share price throughout the day as it has been up and down all over the place. A very volatile stock today as it has been for some time right now. But realistically guys, I think that this week has shown some very interesting things for AMC. We have kind of seen that sell-off end because even from about the 9th of February at midday up until now, we are still positive by about 4.9%. So this one really is coming back onto the growth. I think the attention is kind of still there. I mean, yes, we can see that from, the previous highs of about $19.90. This one's not, anywhere near back to where it was. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I've said it in previous episodes. There is still some interest there potentially for this one to rocket up in the future, but honestly guys, I don't think it is going to rocket in the future, but I definitely still do believe that there is some potential for some growth. And of course on the 5-day charts, it is definitely becoming apparent that that could be the case. So would I be buying AMC right now guys? Honestly, I would not buy this one if I was looking for a pretty safe investment. I'm sure that goes without saying, because yes, the potential for this one is there, the fundamentals are there as well, but obviously at this current price it is starting to level out, which is another good thing, but there is still quite a bit of risk with this one. And I know a lot of people are going to be asking, why would you be getting into this one from a fundamental standpoint? Because a lot of people are still in this one for the hype. I think that is understandable as well, but I think when we look at this one from the hype, it's definitely very, very risky as we don't know where this is going. Now guys, if you are already in this one, that's completely up to you, and of course I would make sure that you know what you're doing, and I would make sure that you are aware of the risk. But if you aren't in this one, and if you're thinking of getting this one for the hype, honestly guys, I would give it a miss. I know that the hype is appealing. I know that you want to see the share price go from about $5 to $20 overnight. I mean, yes, it has happened before. There is a small possibility that it could happen again, but honestly guys, looking at the risk to reward, I definitely think that's not worth it in my personal opinion. We've seen many people who have spent loads of money on stocks like this and of course lost a lot of money as well as the share price did plummet. I just think it is not worth it. Would I buy this one as a speculative play? Absolutely, it could be worth it because of course, yes, there is a lot of risk going with this one, but it definitely does have that potential to come back up in the next week, not by a significant amount, don't get me wrong, but potentially by enough to make it a worthwhile buy for a quick trade or maybe even for a long-term hold. So guys, as of current, looking into next week, I definitely think that this one could see a bit more of a sell-off going into the Monday, but honestly I think that the majority of next week should be flat for the mid part, and then of course going from about Wednesday onwards, maybe even a bit earlier, I would like to see this one come back up by a small amount and finish off the week in a positive manner. I think if we can do that, it would be another great indication of this one coming back on the growth. And even though it's not rocketed up to about $20 again, it definitely still does have that potential to be a little bit hyped and of course still make quite a decent profit off that. I think that would be a nice thing to see. So AMC guys is obviously quite a risky stock at the moment. Would I buy it at the moment? Absolutely. I think it's one of the best prices that we have been seeing, but still it does carry quite a lot of risk with it. I would definitely give it a miss for a week or two just to see what happens. But guys, if you're already in this one, it definitely depends at what price point you got in. Obviously if you'd have bought this one back at the lows, you would have made a decent profit. I think that's probably the best point to get in, and if you are looking to get in now, it definitely is going to be more of a risky play, especially if you're looking to ride that hype train because we just don't know where that one is going. But I would not count on that one guys. I think if it was to go up to $20 in a hypothetical situation, absolutely I would sell out at that $20 point. But if you're getting into this one guys, I would not get in it for that big growth because yes, it is possible, but there are other stocks which do pop up in quite a similar manner and of course explode in share price, which could explode by a significant amount, maybe even more than AMC did and maybe even more than AMC could. Well guys, I am not a financial advisor, but if you do want to see some penny stocks or some other types of stocks, all kinds of stocks which could explode in the future, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe, because like I said, we do cover many different types of stocks which all do have some real potential. But yeah guys, getting back to AMC in the next week, honestly I would like to see this one finish up next week in a positive, but I don't think it would be by much, and I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. But if we can remain positive for the next week, it is an indication of the growth coming back on with this share. I think that could definitely improve the price going forwards. I definitely think this one could touch $6 in the next 2 weeks, or maybe even 3 or 4 weeks. But even then guys, it definitely could be a decent buy, but of course it does carry a lot of risk with it, and you do need to be aware of that. So make sure to do your research guys. But honestly, if you are feeling confident with this one, it's definitely the best price that we have seen in a while, especially with the share price actually coming up from about the 9th. So guys, are you buying this one? Are you already in it? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye until then.